Hi everyone, it's Miss Kate.
And Miss Hazel.
Today we're going to do something that I worked on a while ago. We did a project with some friends where we were doing a different art project every day for about a month. The thing that I did was I made these flowers using wood that my brother Robert cut up for us. And it was really fun, so I thought I'd show you. I found some wood that someone was throwing away. It was sitting next to one of the big dumpsters, so I took it. So if you could find wood that you can use, that would be great. So I started by using a pencil and I drew. I've already actually drawn this on here. But I'm going to draw sort of a rough outline of what I want my end result to look like. So I'm just drawing some easy petals. The great thing about this is it doesn't really have to look perfectly like what you want. It's just an idea, sort of a little bit of abstract. So I don't know if you can see that very well on the camera, but I'm going to add a stem. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is paint around your drawing as best you can. I'm going to show you one I already painted. Ideally, you're going to let this completely dry, but this is what it looks like. So you can see I sort of painted around my petals, and I may probably go over some of the paint, but we'll see. The next thing you want is some sort of paper. Now, I like to rip paper. You could use scissors if that makes you more comfortable, but I'm going to rip. I'm going to show you fun ways to rip paper. If I rip up like this, and the tricky part about ripping is that you might not have it exactly the shape you want, but you can just go back and rip some more. So I'm going to rip until I get sort of my shape of a petal. So that's petal-ish, I think. And I'll kind of figure out where I'm going to put them on here. I'm not going to glue anything down until I'm done with this part. So I'm going to quickly rip through some. And you can see, because I ripped up, what I left behind has some of the white paper underneath it. So I might want to use that in another part. Or if I want just the edge, I would do this. So I'm going to quickly rip some more to get enough petals for my painting here. I'm going to use this for my middle, but look, I didn't make it big enough, but that's okay because I can just add some more. Because this is all going to be glued down to the page. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, that'll work like that. I'm going to rip some more petals. So I'm almost done with the ripping part, I think. I'm going to, because I can add more as I need to. But see all this green? I'm going to use some of the green to make the stem of the flower. Okay, now here comes the fun part and the tricky part. I placed all of my pieces right onto the board, but now I have to take them off again and hope that I can remember kind of how I put them together. If I don't remember, it's also okay. I'll just figure it out. And now it's back to just my piece of wood with the paint on it.
Oh.
If you have Modge Podge, which is a brand of kind of glue and sealant mixed together, you could use that. Now, because we just moved into our new spot, I couldn't find our Modge Podge here. I was hoping I could, but I didn't. So instead, I took some glue, just plain Elmer's glue, and I added some water to it, which can also work in the same way. In this case, it was 1 to a half. So it was like 1 part glue and then half that amount of water is what I put in today. First thing when you're doing any sort of collage is that you want to put your glue down first and then put your piece over it and then glue right back over it again, and then it'll stay. Okay, so now I'm going to just keep working on this. I'm going to do the center of the flower last because I think that'll be easier for me. I'm going to put these pieces down, see how it goes, and then I can see where I have some blank spots there, and I'll add some more paper to that. Okay, so somehow I missed a piece right there, so I'm just going to add this in, and then I'm going to look now to see where else I might have missed something. Like I see right here I don't have enough of a petal there, so I'm going to add another little bit. Because, you know, they're not real flowers, it's an art flower. So you can add more color, more interest to it. You can do whatever you want to do. As the artist, remember, you are the one who gets to decide how it should look. And yes, I have made a lot of these, but you know, they're not always perfect.
Which is what makes them so great.
Okay, now, I got that one down. And I'm covered in glue because, you know, that's what happens. Now I'm gonna put down my middle piece right there. And I wanted to have a contrasting color there so you could really see that it was the middle. And contrasting refers to the fact that it's very different. So the colors I picked for the petals were all, well, it's mostly warm colors with some blues and greens in there, but the middle was all purple and blue. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you this.
Ooh.
So this is what it can look like in the end. When I'm going to let the paint dry a little bit more because I didn't do that yet, and then I'll go over the whole thing with the gluey water. So that's what I did with this one. I covered the whole thing with Modge Podge to seal it and make sure that none of these pieces were popping up there. The other thing I did do was I took a little piece of, actually it's metal with twine around it, but I hot glued those to the back so that we could hang it up. This was actually just hanging in my stairwell and I took it off this morning so I could show you this. But this is our project. So I hope if you find a piece of wood that you can use, check with your parents first, and you have some painted paper, you could just color all over a paper and use that to rip up. Have fun with it, play with it, decide what you want to make. It could be an animal, it could be a house, it could be anything you want it to be. All right, thanks so much for visiting us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, friends.